Hi. So for the assignment, I chose to do like the creative interpretation option. So I'm gonna start describing somewhat like the scene of the situation that I'm gonna be talking about. The PLC starts 3 minutes late. The fluorescent lights are buzzing, and the coach projects a slide with titled "Non-Negotiables for Small Group Reading." I can feel the ridge of my coffee lid under my thumb. Slow, circular, then I see it. The scripted timing chart, and I picture my student flinching at the sound of the timer last week. When the coach asked, "Do you have any questions?" I feel my hand go up before I decide to raise it. What do we do when the timing marks don't match the learner in front of us? The room shifts, someone exhales, someone else looks down, and the coach glances at the slide that says fidelity equals equity. Equity, sorry. We want consistency, she says. Deviations make outcomes uneven. I nod, but inside I'm still holding my student's shoulders in my mind, the way they climbed up towards his ears when the timer went off. So I try again. I understand consistency, I say, but timing discouraged a student. I adjusted, and it helped. Another shift in the room, a quiet same from someone across the table. The coach sighs, tiny, almost invisible. Then she says, "Maybe, if there's a deviation, we can note the rationale." Not a yes, not a no, but maybe a crack of light that we can see. I step out of that moment and look at it like an observer. It becomes a case study in adult learning. The teacher, me, but not me for the moment, is navigating the tension between institutional fidelity and responsive practice. The conditions around her, so a district framework that equates consistency with equity, a checklist that codifies compliance, and a room full of colleagues who feel the tension but haven't quite named it yet. What emerges is a classic adult learning move, calibrated risk taking. She doesn't rebel, she doesn't withdraw. She strategically tests the boundary with evidence, a specific student story, and that evidence activates the group. One teacher's risk becomes a small act of collective sense making. Even the coach changes her stance, not abandoning expectations, but softening them enough to allow professional judgment to exist inside of this structure. This is adult learning, not the poster version, the real version, navigating power, managing identity, balancing agency with accountability, and translating lived experience into public reasoning. When I walked out of that meeting, I realized something had shifted in me. For years, through my learning, college classes, student teaching, I've seen myself as a good implementer, the person who does things right, by the book. But that moment taught me something new about fidelity. It isn't uniformity, it's integrity. Staying true to the purpose of a routine, not the timer that is pulled up on a slide. I also learned that trust isn't something we wait for. Sometimes trust is something we create when we take a principled risk and anchor it in evidence. An agency? I used to think it was something systems either grant or withhold. Now I see that agency is co constructed. I took a risk. My colleagues responded. The coach allowed a crack in the frame. That's when I understood adult learning isn't about mastering a script, it's about noticing when the script gets in the way of the learner and being willing to say so out loud. That's the shift that I carry forward. And that's it. Thank you.